On the road.
Championship finalists. It is an all left-handed final. Our number 1 seed from Henderson, Nevada, Dick Baker. A member of the PBA's Hall of Fame. 14 career titles and the number 2 seed, Johnny Petraglia. Another member of the Hall of Fame. 7 major titles in the number 3 seed, Dave Davis. Making his first television appearance from Rochelle, Illinois, the number 4 seed, Mike Pullin. From St. Louis, Missouri, also on TV for the first time, Ron Krippelcz. And our first match of the afternoon featuring the number 6, 7, and 8 seed, the number 6 seed from Marengo, Iowa, Larry Hall. At the number 7 spot, the defending champion from St. Louis, Missouri, Vince Range. And in the number 8 seed from Columbia, South Carolina, Donald Breihan. From the Orleans Hotel, Casino, and Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's the Brunswick Senior Slam. Along with Randy Peterson, I'm Ron Thulen. We're glad you're with us today to feature some of the finest and senior PBA members. Randy, first of all, I think we have to talk about the format. A little different than what we saw last week in Albuquerque.
Well, that's right. You know, we've got 8 guys on the show. The first match is a shootout between the 6 and 8 seeds. The winner of that will go to the second shootout against the 4th and 5th seeds. The winner of that match will go against the 2nd and 3rd seeds. Wow, I'm getting winded. And the winner of that shootout will bowl for the championship against our number 1 seed.
So what it's going to take is a great deal of endurance and focus. Let's get started. Donald Breihan, a super senior from Columbia, South Carolina, on your right, the former director of the IRS. And he said the difference between being in the PBA and the IRS. When he goes to a party now, he tells people he's a PBA member, because if he said IRS, he'd be by himself the rest of the night.
I wonder if he's writing off this week for his entertainment. I'll have to look into that.
Second time on television for Donald.
Well, that ball coming up light, leaving the 3, 5, 6. It's going to be a little tough for me to call the spares today because all the guys are left-handed. I'm used to calling the right-handed spares.
Very different. Vince Range out of St. Louis, our defending champion. First career title came here last year. Rolled a perfect game in the championship round. Oh, not a way to start out.
Bad break. Goes through the nose, leaves a split. 6, 7, 10.
Back to Breihan. And Don Breihan's able to pick it up. Qualified for the television final by just 1 pin. Here's a split by Range.
Yeah, take a look at that. You know, on these pins, these heavy Brunswick pins, you go through the nose, you're going to leave split a lot of times. Trying to slide the 6 over in the 7.
So Vince will leave number 1 open. And here's Larry Hall of Marengo, Iowa, about 90 miles east of Ames, Iowa. Bowls out of Cedar Rapids, first TV appearance. Said he was a little bit nervous, but he said once he threw the first ball, Randy, he'd be all right.
Again, another player on the left lane coming up light. Thing to do now is make the adjustment on that lane, but first got to cover that bucket.
Breihan finished 2nd on the Masters, Senior Masters this year.
All right, Don goes light on the left lane, goes high on the right lane. Got to start getting lined up here, maybe get the first frame jitters out of the way, or the first couple of frame jitters. The other guys are nervous.
And Hall's not able to clean it up.
And that's the problem with that spare, you know. You leave the bucket, you got to cover that back pin. That would be the 9 pin for them, the 8 pin for right-handers.
Hall was really concerned at the beginning of the match. We talked to him just about a half hour ago about being too fast. He said he really can't be too fast in this first round. He said timing is definitely the key for him. Now we're fixing a little pin. Had a little stray pin that wanted to get on television. We got him out of the way. Don didn't even realize that 8 places would be on television. He was at 11th place at the time, and somebody said, hey, you know, the 8 places get to go to TV. He said, I better hurry it up.
Don switches to a ball that goes straighter, cross alley.
Oh, my.
Let me tell you.
Not a way to begin. So Range leaves the first open. Breihan leaves the second open. Back to Vince Range. Said he wanted to say hi to his wife and Chris, who's in Denver, not able to be here for the finals. He wanted to concentrate, Randy, on his follow-through this week, so that is important for him. Everybody's struggling. Is it the lanes?
Well, you know, a lot of times right before air, the guys get an hour practice. They get an hour practice beforehand. Watch this ball; it doesn't even sniff the head pin, and he gets lucky. He trips the 10-pin out late, leaves the 1-3-6. Here's Larry. All right, well, we're getting a little closer. Leaves only the 6-pin.
The lanes, are they breaking down earlier?
Well, you know, like I was saying, an hour practice prior to the telecast, and then a lot of times right before air, the lanes tend to change.
Well, Vince is able to clean things up in the second. Leaves the first open, spares in the second.
These guys obviously didn't bowl this way to get to this point. So I'm going to say the lane conditions and a combination of that and nerves.
Now it's time for everybody to settle down. 2 frames are in the books. And the score right now, you can see Hall up by 1, along with Range.
Virtually deadlocked after 2 frames. Guys are trying to get settled in, trying to get locked in on this left lane, which seems to be a problem.
And you thought the left lane was hooking a little earlier than the right lane.
Well, I got some inside info. Now, see, and that's what happens. You compensate for going light, and 9 times out of 10, you go through the nose. Fortunate not to leave a split, only leaving the 4-pin.
Back to Vince Range, was involved in insurance early on in his career, decided to try the senior tour, been on it about 8 years. Last year's victory really gave him confidence that he can play under pressure. That didn't seem like it was breaking.
Let's take a look at Don Breihan's pinfall here. That ball almost going Brooklyn. All right, he covers the 4-pin with no problem. You know, after almost 3 frames, we have yet to have a strike.
Good point. Now Range, he's in the 3rd, working on a spare.
Got to get the ball to the right side of the head pin. All right, Larry, come on. Let's see if we can get our first strike here.
Well, he admitted to me early on that he was a little bit nervous about being in this television final.
Wow. Well, the guys are obviously struggling. The conditions are probably a little different than what they'd bowled on all week. And again, a good break, only leaving the 7-pin. He will stand to the far right side of the approach and go cross alley to a ball that doesn't hook as much.
Larry said he grew up watching Earl Anthony. Wanted to be just like him.
Right.
Said after he watched Earl Anthony, he'd run out and practice exactly what Earl Anthony did. We've got a break in the action. Our first match of the championship final from Las Vegas. We'll have more right after this.
Check out the hottest thing going this summer. Buy a zone, get a Target Zone free. Limited time only at participating pro shops from Brunswick.
In our great sport, there are people who bowl and there are bowlers. The difference is right here in my hand, the American Bowling Congress membership card. Without standards or rules enforced by ABC, what do our accomplishments really mean? The greatest bowlers of all time have always been ABC members. It's important because it provides the credibility we all need. So when you go bowling, make sure you ask to compete in an ABC-sanctioned league or tournament. It's your assurance that you really are a bowler and not just going bowling. Let's go bowling with ABC.
Bigger than Mrs. Doubtfire. Badder than Tootsie.
Let me go get my 9.
It's the #1 comedy in America.
Nothing to it.
Big Mama's House.
Big Mama getting a little lightheaded.
Rated PG-13. Now playing.
Boy, you're sweating like crazy.
You got TV cameras all over you.
We asked the hottest pros under the sun to switch antiperspirants.
Invisible solid? What's that?
Degree Invisible Solid is body heat activated with a clear difference.
Right there. See, there's no white stuff.
Degree works hard but never shows.
You gotta be cool.
This Fox Sports Net exclusive is being brought to you by Brunswick. Buy a specified zone ball and get a target zone free. Get to your pro shop and get in the zone. The Hoover Dam, something needs to power all these lights on the strip here in Vegas, and we're at the Orleans Hotel, Casino, and Bowling Center along with Randy Peterson. I'm Ron Pullin. The first match. This is Donald Breihan of South Carolina, and it would be safe to say that everybody's struggling, and that has to be frustrating.
Well, it is. You know, like I said, you get 7 lefties on 2 pair of lanes. The lanes are going to change drastically. I think if we're going to get our first strike, I think it's going to happen on this right lane.
Got it. First strike of this opening round, and Breihan, who had a 2-pin lead coming into this frame.
Watch the head pin here. Goes to the sidewall. We like to call that slamming the dime.
At least we got the first one in the book. Vince Range will try to duplicate that. That will go to the other side and knock him down.
Well, you know, I don't want to say his favorite baseball team is the Yankees, but you know that's what happens when you miss the head pin to the left. Your adjustment is you get mindset that you don't want to miss left, and a lot of times you end up pulling it.
Larry Hall.
Oh.
Can't pull off the trifecta. The man who's involved in mountain man activities even has a ceremonial name, and it's Gary Claw. And here is Don Breihan. Breihan working on a strike. Up by 3. He's in the 5th.
Well, the guys are struggling just to hit the pocket. You know, anytime you get a break like that when you're basically lost is welcomed.
Larry Hall, a little hop, skip, and a jump. Would you have to say it's the conditions or a combination of a number of things?
Well, I would say initially it's the conditions. You know, if the conditions were good and the lanes broke down, which they're gonna, the guys would just move into the center part of the lane. But right now it doesn't look like they have a whole lot to work with.
Well, the bottom line is here in the 5th frame, the door is open for any of these 3, and nobody is out of it yet.
Right.
Right now, Breihan with a 2-pin lead. Hall down by 3, Range down by 2, and this is Range.
And instead of the right lane, we're going to call this the good lane.
There you go.
Hang on. Oh, you know, I calls it like I sees it.
No style points in bowling, just knock them down.
Vince likes to get the ball out on the lane. Notice the loft, which normally delays hook, and in that shot, that was a good thing because that ball was headed high.
Larry Hall needs something good to happen. And he is still strikeless in this round. Qualified in the number 6 spot. 3rd year in his professional career. Worked in the refrigeration business for 38 years. Says he gives credit to being on the PBA Senior PBA Tour to his wife, who encouraged him to go out and try it. Down by 14.
And Larry's main objective right now is to make a good showing. It's his first show, and God, if he could get settled in and win that first match.
Who knows what happened?
Right.
We saw with Jason Duran last week in Albuquerque. And our score so far, Vince Range with an 8-pin lead. Breihan down by 8. Hall now down by 12. As we head to the 6th frame, Donald Breihan. He wanted to keep his feet slow and don't raise up in this match.
Well, that shot there was either too slow or right of target. That ball just overhooked, went right through the face. And the split that he left, we like to refer to as grandma's teeth.
I got to write these down.
No pun intended, Grams.
Well, his wife Nancy was extremely nervous prior to this match.
Here's for a 3-bagger.
Vince has the door open, cannot walk through it.
Boy, that was a big break, though. That could have been that could have been exactly what we have on the right lane. Creek Church, the story here is you want to go to the left side and take the 3 pins out and try to save count.
Well, he wasn't down by much heading into that. He was only down by 3 pins. Now he finds himself down by 24. And Range, for the moment, is taking control of this situation.
Goes to a ball that doesn't hook to cover that spare.
So tough trying to win from the 7 spot. Have to take 1 ball at a time, not even 1 frame at a time. All looking for his first strike.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got it.
There you go. That'll settle you down.
Now we are in our opening match between the 6, 7, and 8 seed, and right now Vince Range has an 11-pin lead. We'll be back.
The Revolution are on a roll and blasting their way to the top. Wooldy Harris and Ted Chronopoulos continue to scorch the nets as the Revs try to stay on top in the East. The New England Revolution, all season long on Fox Sports Net.
Здравствуйте, дорогие друзья! Итак, мы с вами в Хабаровске на чемпионате по пощечинам. Сейчас видно, что чемпионат пройдет великолепно. Уж так сильны оба претендента. Итак, смотрим. Уже сейчас видно, что чемпионат пройдет великолепно. Как и обещали нам его организаторы. Единственный претендент на чемпионский титул Розановский без...
Scott? Who's the NBA's all-time leader in blocked shots?
If only every question was a sports question. Sports Geniuses, weeknights at 6 and 11.
Going deep.
With Chris Myers.
Sundays at 7 on Fox Sports Net.
Just a reminder, nightly at 10 and 12, it's the all-new National Sports Report, the show that gives you a complete wrap-up of all of today's sports news with internet interaction, scores, highlights, opinions, and analysis. That's the National Sports Report, nightly at 10 and midnight, only on Fox Sports Net. And as usual, check your local listings. Along with Randy Peterson, I'm Ron Thulen. Right now, Vince Range with an 11-pin lead over Hall and a 24-pin lead over Donald Breihan. And this is Don. Said he gave a lot of credit to Denny Torgerson of Ebonite for drilling him a ball in the first block where he was struggling. Said he really needed to change things up. He's looking for some magic.
Well, the way things are going, maybe he should have drilled him a couple more balls.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys are having trouble hitting the pocket. That's about the closest that they've come on the left lane, and that ball went high, leaving the 6-pin.
Well, Larry Hall's really had the only flush strike we've seen so far.
Here's your leader. All right.
Well, he's got 3 for the afternoon.
That's a little mixer there. That'll make you happy. Cross alley at the 6-pin that he missed twice already this match.
Yep. Missed in the second. And misses here. Larry Hall, whose wife Shirley also in attendance.
Larry working on a strike.
Member of the Cedar Rapids, Iowa Hall of Fame.
This is to get to within 1 pin.
You know, you bowl not the level you want to, and you're still in a position to take the lead. That has to be frustrating when you don't really put it all together.
Well, when the scoring pace is low, it's the guy who stays out of trouble and makes his spares. And Mr. Range has been able to do that. He opened only in the first frame and hasn't opened since and caught a double.
Don Breihan cannot buy a strike right now. He has 1 on the afternoon.
You know, and sometimes the lane conditions are so tough it doesn't really matter what you do.
Right.
You know, you can only make so many adjustments, and if your bar reaction's not there, it's just not there.
All down by 11 pins.
You know, everybody talks about the pros being able to adjust. Well, sometimes there's just nothing you can do.
And Donald Breihan picks it up. But he is well off the pace right now as this man is our leader. Up by 11 pins. He is in the 7th. You can see his numbers for the week. High game was 258.
This is the trouble lane.
Get over. You heard him say, get over.
That was right immediately. As soon as he let go, he knew it. And that's because he's afraid to get it to go to the left. He knows that if he gets it going a little bit left, the ball's not going to hit the head pin. That ball crossing over on the Brooklyn side.
Of course, the winner of this plays the 4 and 5 seeds.
Oh, yeah.
Larry Hall right in the pocket.
See, now Larry, he's wired in on that right lane. Looks like he moved into the center of the lane a little bit, but he's getting comfortable on the right lane. If he can catch a hit on the left lane over here, we've got a whole new ball game.
Now Vince able to maintain his advantage. You can see right now Range with an 11-pin lead over Hall. Don Breihan well off the pace, some 35 pins off Range.
This is the thing that I'm looking at here. Vince Range, he's going to have to finish on the tough lane, on the left lane. Mr. Hall, however, is going to get one more shot on the left lane, and he gets to finish on his good lane. Oh, almost came. He was looking for it.
He was trying to find it, not able to do it, and you can see the frustration.
Well, he's frustrated. He obviously, his scores were a lot higher than what he's shooting today. And he bowled great all week to get here, and it's frustrating to have your ball reaction look like this.
In the 9th for Vince Range, he knocks him down.
We've got a big shot coming up on the left lane with Larry Hall. If he can somehow manage.
Don Breihan can only smile.
Watch this. Wow.
That's the way it's supposed to look, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to look.
Okay.
All right, big shot here for Larry Hall. If he can somehow find a way to strike on this left lane, we've got a whole new ball game.
Not able to.
Well, leaves it 2-4-7, and not an easy spare, especially on a lane you're not really sure what the ball's going to do.
This is Breihan in the 10th.
Come on, Don, get a strike on the good lane. Oh, well, I'll tell you, that didn't happen. That didn't happen this week.
No.
You don't get there doing stuff like that.
And Hall.
Very nice.
4 and 7, nicely done. But this is Vince Range's to win.
Well, this is a really good closure to this match. We've got Vince Range going on the tough lane, needing. Oh, good try. Needing, I think, a mark to force Vince Hall to strike, or Larry Hall to strike out.
And Don Breihan finishes disappointingly at 136. Range in the 10th.
9 spare strike. He's a winner. Oh.
The door is open. It's not a whole lot, but it's still open.
That was a big break, too. He splits there. Larry Hall, all he needs is a mark. Or I think he needs the first hit in the 10th to win it.
He's down by 11 coming into this 10th.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we've got ourselves a match still.
How about that? First time on TV, he's getting comfortable on that right lane. He's right. He's in the position he wants to be. This is where these guys dream of being.
If Range can strike on his last ball, he will win it.
I think that's easier said than done.
Yes, absolutely.
Right now, Larry must have this hit. Oh, yeah.
Got it. No pressure for the 58-year-old out of Marengo, Iowa.
That was huge. That puts all the pressure back on Vince Range. Strike to win. Oh,
and
my.
He's got it.
Wow.
Allie said last year's victory taught him how to deal with the pressure. That's the result right there. So Vince Range will move on to take on the 4-5 seeds. Looking at it one more time, Randy.
Oh, late trip on the 6-pin, and watch this reaction. Oh, yeah, off to the next match.
And he does. Vince Range, our defending champion, wins by 1 pin over Hall. Breihan winds up third. We'll be back with our next match right after this.
Bigger than Mrs. Doubtfire. Badder than Tootsie.
Let me go get my 9.
It's the #1 comedy in America.
Nothing to it.
Big Mama's House.
Big Mama getting a little lightheaded.
Rated PG-13. Now playing.
Rust-Oleum, the ultimate defense against weather.
They're not coming out. We're going in to get them. You're always hot. You're always sweating. It's a cat and mouse game.
We have some of the hottest detectives on the street to switch antiperspirant. Degree Ultra Dry.
Body heat activated.
Does this work? When your body heat rises, Degree's powerful Ultra Dry form releases extra protection when you need it most.
When the pressure is on, the heat is on, Degree kept up with me. It kept me dry. Degree kicks butt.
Degree Ultra Dry.
That stuff kicks in and takes care of business.
Your body heat turns it on.
Book 'em.
Wish you could try things before you buy them? Well, come into a Gateway Country store and you can try all the computers before you buy one, with prices starting as low as $799. Call 1-800-GATEWAY.
Beautiful Lake Mead just outside of Las Vegas, Nevada, and that is the site of the Brunswick Senior Slam. We have the first match into the book. And, of course, our defending champion, Vince Range, the winner at 195. 1 pin back, Larry Hall at 194. Once again, along with Randy Peterson, I'm Ron Thulen. For our defending champion, I think he showed the poise that you need to have to be a champion.
He really did. You know, lane conditions a little tough, the first match, and he did the things necessary to win. His only open came in the first frame, which if you're going to open, that's where you want it. He filled frames from then on, got some good breaks going through the nose, not splitting, caught a key double. You know, ended up winning by 1 pin.
Now, as we head throughout the rest of the final, we are going to be turning our attention to a couple of Hall of Famers in Dave Davis and Johnny Petraglia. But for Petraglia, Randy, this could be a big moment in his life.
It really could be. You know, with a win today, Johnny will become only the 3rd player in PBA history to win a tournament in 5 decades.
Now, of course, the lane conditions, we've spoken a lot about them. Our entire field is left-handed, as we mentioned at the top of the show. Does that have any effect at all?
Well, it really does. You know, left-handers, since there's not as many left-handers as right-handers, when the lane conditions on the left side, when they're good, they stay good. And when they're bad, they usually stay bad. Not enough players on their side to break the lanes down or to change them that much. Today, lane conditions look a little bit rough. But also, we have 8 left-handers in the championship round. What's going to happen is the lanes are going to really change. They're going to change a lot. And the player that's going to come out on top, in my opinion, is going to be a player with the most experience. Maybe 2 KG veterans like Dave Davis or Johnny Petraglia.
All right, Randy Peterson, we are set for round number 2 of our finals. Of course, Vince Range now will take on the number 4 and 5 seeds in the tournament. The number 4 seed of Rochelle, Illinois, Mike Pullin, and Ron Krippelcz of St. Louis, and Vince Range, the defending champion, will start things out. Range, as we saw, struggling, as Randy mentioned, left the first frame open in that first match. Came back in a strong way.
Well, all right, we're getting a little closer on that left lane. First game balls were missing the head pin. This one drifting a little bit high, only leaving the 6-pin.
Pullin from Rochelle, Illinois, 70 miles outside of Chicago, and no pressure on him. The 22-year professional bowler, 99 Rookie of the Year.
Very nice opening shot.
Now we saw Mike Pullin obviously strike in the first. He said he was glad, along with Ron Krippelcz, both of them said they were glad they weren't opening up the match because they had a chance to see the lane conditions. But seeing and actually rolling on them are probably two different things.
Well, yeah, but you know what? The one thing you do get for the highest seed player, he gets the option of which lane he wants to finish on. And I think they have a pretty good idea that the right lane's probably a little bit better.
Ron Krippelcz of St. Louis, first time on national television on a PBA show. Started bowling at the age of 10. Had a house actually next door to a bowling alley. Used to sell lemonades to the guy that were building it. And here is Vince. 195 in the opening game.
Wow. That's a little bit of airtime underneath that shot.
And he knew it. He broke out a little smile on that. Almost $83,000 in career money for Vince Range. Pullin used to work in a nuclear plant.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I don't know.
Hey,
that's good.
Well, that was real good. Two guys that that were watching the match prior to this, they get up on the left lane, have no problem.
Maybe that did help. Well, the top 8 combined average of almost 229 in the tournament so far, but so far after 3 games, the average 175. Tough conditions, but not for Ron Krippelcz of St. Louis.
Well, I think maybe the lanes are going they still go through transition throughout the telecast, and let's hope that they're getting really good now.
There you go.
Either that or these guys are just that much better. But maybe a combination of having an idea of what the lanes are doing. And then making good shots, kind of like that.
That's perfect. Vince Range with a 300 game in the championship round last year. He has some great loft on this ball.
Yeah, he's going with the height theory. And watch this. Woohoo! And a lot of times on synthetic lanes, that ball's going to bounce.
Mike Pullin is hot.
Well,
opens up with a 3-pack. That'll help.
Things are changing. We've got all strikes and only 1 spare, as opposed to waiting a while the first match for 1 strike.
Ron Krippelcz.
Great ball roll.
No problem. 3 in a row.
He's got a nice release. You see that ball just digging in and just shredding the rack.
How about that? 8 out of 9 X's. Not bad. Talking to Krippelcz earlier, he said that he grew up bowling with right-handers. He had a right-handed game. He said, I didn't know there was a difference between right and left-hander. I was standing where the right-handers were standing. So then it finally hit me. He was talking to Bo Burton at a young age, used to practice with him, said, wait a minute, you're supposed to be over there. So they didn't even realize it.
All right, well, Vince, he knows what he needs to do. Right lane, down by 10.
Oh, yes.
Little trip 6, come on.
Now Pullin and Range both making their 2nd consecutive appearance in the championship final. Pullin working a 3-pack right now.
That looks like it's going to be high.
No! And the look on your face, Randy, is priceless.
Watch how close he gets to the foul line. Look at that. Oh, my.
I don't see any red light on.
That's very close. And look at this break. Oh, we got a real ugly split. Oh, we go. Oh, good. Go. We only got a 7-pin. Thank you.
Lady Luck smile.
Oh.
Krippelcz going for 4 in a row.
And Ron just got, well, that was really bad luck. That ball is dead flush, perfect, leaves a solid 9.
Oh my.
You know, and you get a really great break not leaving the split, and then you get up there and you miss the single pin spare. Not good. All right.
Krippelcz, the St. Louis Bowler of the Year in both 1986 and 96. 39 300 games. 30 800 series. Range up by a pin. Bowling in the 5th.
Working on a 3-bagger. Listen to the sound the ball makes. Oh.
I think the crowd's reaction told it all, too.
Well, double P-knuckle, big 4, whatever you want to call it, I call it ugly. And not to mention, very difficult to make unless you have 2 balls and a broomstick.
Now Mike Pullin, down by 13 pins, has an opportunity to get back in it.
All right. In the pocket, at least. Leaving the 7-pin, or the weak 7. Vince just going for count here, should just try for 2 pins.
So Vince spares in the 1st, has 3 in a row, then leaves the 5th open. Pullin started out with 3 in a row, left the 7th open, or the 4th open.
All right, no sweat this time.
Well, he said he had problems early on in this tournament leaving the 7-pin, and we saw it there twice in both the 4th and the 5th.
Well, when you hit the pocket as much as these guys did all week, you're going to leave some corner pins. And that's just the nature of the game. And when the scores are good, it's the guy who doesn't leave as many who's going to be the guy that ends up winning. It's like the guy who makes the most putts.
For his first television appearance, he's showing absolutely no hesitation. And Ron Krippelcz of St. Louis is our leader. He's up by 12 pins. We'll have more of our second match when we return on Fox Sports Net.
Every day, Ameridebt helps more people with money problems. People like Tom Baker.
My credit card debt was outrageous. Then I called Ameridebt. They contacted my creditors and got my payments almost cut in half. Now I have only one small monthly bill.
Ameridebt is a nonprofit organization that offers free consultations to consumers seeking to eliminate their debt. People like the Shaws.
Every month I pay our credit card bills, but the balances never seem to get smaller.
Ameridebt got our interest rates reduced, and now the balances are dropping dramatically.
And what's even more amazing is our payments are less than before.
Call 1-800-358-6767. Regardless of your credit, in minutes, join the thousands of people who have turned their financial lives around. People like Maria Rinaldi.
Before I called Ameridebt, the creditors were calling every day. I thought bankruptcy was the only way out. Now I'm debt-free, and my credit rating has been restored.
Call 1-800-358-6767. 1-800-358-6767. Ameridebt, helping America get out of debt.
I'm Noah Wagner. I've had the AIDS virus for 15 years. But I'm not here to talk about AIDS. As horrible as the disease is, now there's hope. Today, the people who need hope are the people with pancreatic cancer. It kills nearly 70 people a day, yet we know almost nothing about it. But we can change that with research. After all, just look how far we've come with AIDS. Just look at me.
Vince Range in the 7th, trailing by 11 pins. Check that, trailing by 17 pins. And Ron Krippelcz, our leader, by 12. Rocks up the 7.
Excuse me. Take a look at this shot by Vince. It looks like he almost sticks at the foul line as he comes right up out of the shot early. Normally when you do that, the result is always, or most of the time, the ball is going to go high. All right, no problem there. No problema covering the 4-pin.
Our defending champion still in some problems. Mike Pullin started out strike, strike, strike. Left the 4th open, spared in the 5th, has a strike here in the 6th. He trails by 12. Yes! Lady Luck, give me a smooch.
That's why we put revolutions and torque and revs on the bowling ball. You got to get those spins. They got to dance for you.
So you're saying that the ball spins?
Well, no, it doesn't spin, but it rotates.
Torque and revs?
Torque and revs, and, you know, you got to put that nasty stuff on it so you can get those pins to talk to you. Take a look at this pin action. Watch this ball drive through. The head pin goes to the wall and just starts knocking the sense out of a couple other friends there on the deck.
In a city that's built on luck, be it good or bad, it seemed fitting.
That needs to hook.
Vince Range struggling here in the 8th. Was down by 17 pins. Now he continues to fall even more.
I'll tell you, this guy here, Ron Krippelcz, has dead flushed every shot except that one there. That one there just comes in a little light, only leaving the 3-pin. I mean, he's been really solid this game.
He told me before he didn't feel nervous. Said he was just anxious to get out and do it.
Well, he sure doesn't look it.
Not a bit. Nicely done for Vince Range. But he is down by 19 pins heading into the 9th. Pullin down by just 1 here in the 8th.
Big shot here for Mike on the tougher of the 2 lanes. That ball's got a lot of surface on it. Let's see if it hooks. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Member of the Illinois Hall of Fame. He is now up by 9.
Take a look at this. Take a look at this right here. Now watch how he kind of creeps to the foul line and then he just, and he kind of stands up on it. But he's got a great release. He does a lot of good stuff with his hand and gets those pins to fall. Oh, get it, get it.
On Krippelcz, and he can't finish.
Ron looking for the bird dog coming across to take the 7 out. In this guy's opinion, a great shot. Should have struck.
Now Krippelcz trailing by a pin.
That's a pretty ball there. Obviously a ball that goes much straighter than a strike ball. Nicely done.
Trailing by 10 with 2 frames to go for Krippelcz.
Looking at the scoreboard. All right.
Krippelcz in at 157, working with a spare. But our leader is Mike Pullin. Vince Range, the defending champion. Everybody chasing the $18,000 first prize.
That's a nice shot there. It looked like he switched balls on that the left lane, and you know he's not out of this. He strikes out. He's gonna make the other guys work for it.
Pullin up by 10.
Big shot here. 9th frame. We like to call that the foundation frame. I like to call it let's step on him frame. He can do just that right here with a strike. Oh!
The 7 again, the nasty pin that has given him trouble throughout the tournament.
And that was a vicious ring and 7 pin. What a great shot. Watch the 4 pin go right around the 7. Just a terrible break. And he loved it. He liked the shot.
Well, Mike was in the championship round last year, Randy, and lost to Vince Range. This year he's got the lead. Krippelcz still trying to get back into it. That'll help.
Wow. I mean, he's making the left lane look easy.
Pullin up by 9. This is his 9th.
Hang on. All right. Making it interesting on that 7 pin. You know, he's got all strikes, and the only thing he's left is 7 pins. Unfortunately, missing one, he'd have commanding lead.
3 times he's missed the 7th, in the 4th, 5th, and the 9th.
All right, just to keep the pressure on. Vince Range needs a double here in the 10th. Oh.
The 10 was stubborn.
Well, he had him flying around back there. Unfortunately, none of them got a hold of the 10 pin, and he definitely did switch balls to a ball that has much more surface to it, looking for something to grab the lane.
Have a chance to put him away.
Good gosh! I mean, every ball flush, he leaves 4 7 pins, misses one of them. This could have been a big game. All right.
Vince in the 10th and our defending champion right now out of the picture.
Business at hand here. Convert the single pin spare. All right.
Pullin with the lead. Final ball for the defending champ out of St. Louis, Missouri. That's the way to end it.
Boy, it's too bad it's the end of the game, too, because that ball there looks like it reacts pretty good to the condition.
And here is Pullin by 8 pins.
Big. Very big.
Krippelcz has a 237 possibility. A strike 9 spare will be a winner for Ron Krippelcz. Probably his biggest victory in his career. And would move him on to the next round.
Look at that determination. He's focused. Hang on. Oh, hit it. Oh, yes. How about that?
He has a pulse.
Oh, no trip 6-8. Wow. All right. Watch this action. Oh, the 6 pin goes forward. The 8 pin goes sideways. And watch this reaction. Christmas in July. Okay, it's June. So what?
Same thing.
Hang on. That's a winner.
That'll do it. His first PBA show ever. Well, Mike Pullin can do nothing but just watch.
Tell you what a performance. First time on TV? Yeah, so what? Let me just go out here and throw double in the 10th frame to win to move on.
No problem.
Little 230.
Last ball for Krippelcz.
Shoot a little 230 action. Match prior to that, the guys averaged 170. No big deal.
What a way to end it up. Krippelcz ends up with 4 in a row, and he advances to our next round. Mike Pullin becomes a spectator. We'll be back with Randy and a tip right after this.
Bigger than Mrs. Doubtfire. Badder than Tootsie.
Let me go get my 9.
It's the #1 comedy in America.
Nothing to it.
Big Mama's House.
Big Mama getting a little lightheaded.
Rated PG-13. Now playing.
Rust-Oleum, the ultimate defense against weather.
Listen here, Petunia. When you dial up 0, I dial up pain. Why is that? Because 1-800-CALL ATT for collect calls could save you big bucks. That's money you can use for aspirin. Now 1-800-CALL-ATT. You can save big bucks. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
We're hitting the road with the Pepsi Challenge to see if people prefer the taste of Pepsi or Coca-Cola.
You like Coke?
Yeah.
So how many Cokes you drink a day?
One at breakfast, one at lunch, and one at dinner.
You think we can change your mind?
You want to try?
Let's take the Pepsi Challenge.
Let's do it. I like that one.
What about all this about 3 Cokes a day?
I guess it's going to be 3 Pepsis a day.
Which one are you going to take home with you today?
I'll take Pepsi.
In taste tests nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coke. So take the Pepsi Challenge and let your taste decide.
The Revolution are on a roll and blasting their way to the top. Wilde Harris and Ted Chronopoulos continue to scorch the nets as the Revs try to stay on top in the East. The New England Revolution, all season long on Fox Sports Net.
And welcome back to the Brunswick Senior Slam, our second match, now part of history, and our winner, Ron Krippelcz of St. Louis, Missouri, with a 237. Mike Pullin finishes second, 225. Vince Range in with a 199, and Krippelcz advances to our next round. And the next couple of weeks here on Fox Sports Net, the PBA Tour will go to Wichita, or Kansas next week for the Wichita Open. Then on July the 8th, we head down to Tucson, Arizona for the Tucson Open, and we wind things up on Saturday, July 15th, with the U.S. Open coming your way from Phoenix, Arizona. Each week, we try to give you a tip on bowling from our pro, 12-time PBA winner, Randy Peterson.
Welcome to On Target with Brunswick. I'm Randy Peterson. Today's question comes from Jim Hennessy of Coldwater, Ohio. He asks, when I feel like I'm throwing the ball well, I'm still not carrying the 10-pin. What would you suggest to overcome this problem? Hey, Jim, if I knew the answer to that, I'd be a millionaire, and I'm not. But you know what? Let me give you a couple of ideas to try. The ball's not entering the pocket at the right angle, so let's try to move up on the approach, move back on the approach, move left to right, maybe get with your pro shop operator on some different drillings, maybe different equipment, to try to get your ball to do some different things down the lane. If that doesn't work, try practicing your single pin spares.
Thanks, Randy. Submit your question on PBA.com or BrunswickBowling.com. If your question is used on the air, we'll send you a free contact zone and a target zone, plus a double bag to carry them. Even if you don't send a question, you can still get a free target zone when you buy a high-performance ball from a participating pro shop by July 31st. So you too can be on target with Brunswick. And we'll head to our next round after the break, and we feature a couple of PBA Hall of Famers, all coming up right after this.
Join Horizon's Edge Casino Cruises aboard the brand new SS Horizon's Edge. The world-class casino features blackjack, roulette, let it ride, craps, Caribbean stud poker, and over 180 slot machines. Experience fine dining by Palmer's on the Horizon, or enjoy food from the delicious buffet. Relax in style with the region's finest live entertainment. Horizon's Edge Casino Cruises sail twice daily from Lynn Harbor. Call 1-877-412-7700. Meet you at the Horizon, where the sky meets the sea.
Baseball Today delivers the inside pitch on all the day's baseball news from our powerful lineup of big league experts.
No bullpen, no championships.
Baseball Today, weekdays on Fox Sports Net. Hey, New England Motorsports fans, now you have a show of your own. New England Dodge Motorsports Weekly will bring you all the best in New England racing action every week during the season. New England Dodge Motorsports Weekly, Friday at 7:30, only on Fox Sports Net. What's your game face look like? Fox Sports Net introduces the first truly interactive sports talk television show. Jump on your webcam and check us out at GameFaceTV.com. Foxwoods Game Face Interactive Sports Talk TV, only on Fox Sports Net. The Revolution are on a roll and blasting their way to the top. Wooldy Harris and Ted Chronopoulos continue to scorch the nets as the Revs try to stay on top in the East. The New England Revolution, all season long on Fox Sports Net. Learning the ropes of professional wrestling. Going deep, Sunday at 7.
In the 10th, Ron Krippelcz needed a strike, and he got it. Randy, that was pretty impressive.
Boy, that was beautiful.
And that puts him into the next match with the second and third seeds. Hall of Famers Dave Davis, the number 3 seed, and Johnny Petraglia, the number 2 seed. And Dave Davis will start things out, the 58-year-old out of Boynton Beach, Florida. 37 years a professional bowler, 18 career titles, 7 major titles, 3 on the senior tour. That's the way to start it out.
Yeah, you know, and I'm real surprised. Come on, folks. I mean, you see the way this guy throws it. If you want to try to emulate anybody, if you're left-handed, this guy's not a bad guy to be imitating. Speaking of which, here's another guy you might want to look at.
53-year-old out of New Jersey, a professional for 35 years. And how about this? Ron Krippelcz, first time on television. Now he's bowling against a couple of Hall of Famers. The nerve sensor maybe up to 10.
Yeah, he's like, hey, who let the Lions out?
No pressure. Faced us.
You know, this is what they live for. They come out here, they want to bowl against the Johnny Petraglias, the Dave Davises.
And Johnny will leave the first open.
That's all right. If you're going to open, you want it to be there, not late in the game or in the 10th frame. Open the first frame, get it out of the way. Now, Dave Davis on the right lane for an early double. Take a look at how smooth this guy is, his balance. And this big, tall guy with long arms, look at his follow through. Beautiful. Hello.
This is a man who's had his right knee scoped a couple of times. Now he has titanium in his knee.
Oh, titanium.
I told him he could hit a golf ball with that. And here's Johnny Petraglia. Over $1 million in career earnings. And the 7 will not go down. Let's take a look at Dave Davis in the form that you talked about, Randy.
Look at his head, how still it is at the foul line. Staring it down. Watch the results of this. Head pin goes to the wall. Takes out the old 5 and the 10. This is beautiful. Uh-oh.
Krippelcz trying to pick up where he left off. Now the first adversity he has faced. As Petraglia cleans up the 7. And Krippelcz.
Just get the 2 pins for count.
So Petraglia has an open frame, and now Krippelcz has an open. Davis, 1996, first ever to win the ABC Senior Masters in back-to-back years.
Working on an early double. This for a 3-bagger. Oh, yeah. How about it? He's feeling it.
Johnny Petraglia, the man who has a bed in his bedroom that Randy Peterson broke.
Well, that's a long story. We won't get into it. Johnny just switched balls, by the way, to a ball that hooks more. Ooh. And sometimes that's part of the problem we run into. We go to a ball that finishes a little stronger in the back end, and he ends up leaving the 6-8.
In defense of you were wrestling with Johnny's son on that bed and broke it, I understand, and also you were late for supper that night.
I'm not too proud of that, Ron.
Krippelcz.
Come on, John. Need to make it. Oh, yeah. That'll get him fired up. Not to mention the fact it's going to keep him in the match. Watch this, folks. Textbook. Slide the 6 into the 8. Not a problem for that Hall of Famer. You kidding me?
Krippelcz down by 32 pins already here in the 3rd.
Well, it's early, and Davis jumped after that the 3 strikes in a row. And take a look here.
Davis with a 32-pin lead now over Krippelcz. Johnny Petraglia still in on it. As we've shown so far, the lane's proving very difficult today as Dave Davis in the 4th.
Digging those fingers in. Look at the snow tires on that ball. Oh, how about it?
I was kidding him before. I said, don't you get nervous? He was, talking with all the fans out here and some of his friends, and he said, not really. Nice and smooth.
Well, he's always been a cool guy, cool customer.
Now, Johnny Petraglia told us earlier as he switched his ball back that he wasn't getting his legs underneath this week. What's that mean?
Well, if you don't have your legs underneath, you don't have leverage. And, it looks like now Johnny's throwing one ball in one lane and one ball on the other, which to me tells me he's not real sure about his ball reaction.
Bell's trying to get back into it, and that'll help. Johnny wasting little time.
Back to the hook and ball for the spare.
Still without a strike in this match.
Giving you a little spare lesson, but when Dave Davis starts with the front 4, spares aren't going to get you anywhere.
And that has allowed Dave to get a 42-pin lead heading into the 5th.
See the streaks of oil on that ball?
6.
Heard him say 6.
Well,
6.
He knew immediately when he let it go that ball wasn't going to hit the head pin. And he said 6, and he was right. Leaves the 1-3-7-9, and the object there is to get the ball right of the head pin. But right now, the object for Johnny Petraglia is to start striking. Hang on.
First.
All right.
That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. Back to Davis.
Well, watch this. He throws a shot and he knows immediately. Let's see if we can pick out what happened. Oh, he just see the elbow go right or fly out. He knew that ball was bad off his hand.
Davis opens up with 4 in a row, then he leaves the 5th open.
Oh, I got one.
Well, he did get one. And Ron Krippelcz, who played so well in his opening match with that 237, finds himself in a big hole now to Davis.
That needs to hook.
And it did. Ron Krippelcz comes up with the strike, but our leader is Dave Davis. We'll have more from Las Vegas right after this.
Check out the hottest thing going this summer. Buy a zone, get a Target Zone free. Limited time only at participating pro shops from Brunswick. Check out the hottest thing going this summer. Buy a zone, get a Target Zone free. Limited time only at participating pro shops from Brunswick.
And we are in Las Vegas, Nevada. Of course, you may see Elvis getting married. And we're at the Orleans Hotel, Casino, and Bowling Center, one of 4 coast properties here in Vegas, along with the Gold Coast, the Barbary Coast, and the newest property, the Sun Coast, opening up in September. This is Johnny Petraglia. Leaves the 7 as Dave Davis holding on to a 13-point lead.
Just a terrific shot. You know, he's working on a double. He gets up there and just jams about 9 in the pit. And the only pin not to fall was a 7-pin, and not a very good break for Johnny. That ball was well thrown and perfect in the pocket.
Ron Krippelcz trying to get back into it. Petraglia with the spare. Krippelcz has been very interesting in this tournament so far. No pressure, just getting up and bowling. A man that doesn't even have a sponsor. Comes out on the tour on his own. It's his own dime. And now Davis with a 14-pin lead, bowling here in the 8th. Krippelcz down by 14, Petraglia down by 18.
Get up.
Well, they were saying get up again, Randy.
Well, again, looked like the same kind of shot. He lost it off his hand. Knew the ball wasn't going to have enough revs to grip the lane and hook into the pocket.
A very familiar way Johnny Petraglia holds the ball.
What's amazing about Johnny is at 53 years of age, he can hook it as much as the guys on our tour. Well, another bad break for Johnny. That ball could have struck easily.
Davis again, his leg sticking.
He's
on that right lane, he seems to have some problems. He's just not sliding.
Yeah, he's having problems with the approaches on the right lane. He's stuck twice already on that lane, and now the match is getting that much closer. And Johnny just stuck. A lot of times with the heat, the lights, you know, on synthetic approaches, they can get really tacky.
Just what Dave wants after 2 knee surgeries already. Davis only up by 2. Krippelcz down by 2.
That ball goes just a pinch high. Trips the 6 out late, leaves himself with a 7-pin.
Who will make the adjustments as we head to the 10th?
You know, exactly. I mean, the lanes are breaking down probably, for these guys, probably every 3rd shot. And again, problems with the approach.
Davis in the 9th. And the door remains open, leaving the 6.
That was anybody's game.
And right now, Davis with a 3-pin lead, not including Davis's first ball there in the 9th. Johnny Petraglia off the pace, but Ron Krippelcz trying to pull off yet another upset.
Everybody going at a 190 pace. Just who will fill the 10th frame.
Now, when your foot starts to stick on the approach, do you become a little tentative throwing the ball then? Because you're afraid to get hurt?
Yeah, I mean, especially if you like to slide a little bit. I mean, Dave Davis likes to slide. If you're a cranker or more of a hitter, you like to plant and wheel. So you don't mind sticking there. I mean, guys that hook it a lot, they stick, naturally.
Down by 7 pins. Petraglia stopping well before the foul line.
Watch this shot. The 4-pin cuts the 7 out last, and he knows what frame it's in. 9th frame, foundation frame. He likes it.
Krippelcz with a strike. Petraglia struggling early, coming on. Krippelcz struggled early. He is coming on, only down by 3, and our leader, Dave Davis, by 3 pins.
All comes down to who performs in the 10th frame. Didn't stick that time. Leaving the 7.
The better shot.
And now Petraglia in the 10th. Down by 6.
I don't think I can win this.
He's running it out. Oh my. Watch this. Headpin goes to the sidewall and misses the 10. Last 5 shots for Petraglia, almost perfect.
Davis with the spare, continuing to work on the feet.
The one thing that I talked to Johnny Petraglia about earlier was the fact that when he did go around the lane or hook it more, that his carry percentage went down. The lanes broke down in such a way that forced him to try to hook the ball more, and the result is he hits the pocket and it strikes about 50% of the time.
Davis in the 10th.
9 or better here. Okay.
That's better.
Another strike.
Forces Ron Krippelcz to get the first hit in the 10th.
And Petraglia with the 9.
It's in fact,
he will not advance to the final.
This is really irritating.
Ron Krippelcz, again, like he did in the first match, needing a strike.
See if he can take out a couple of the Goliaths on the senior tour. One's already gone.
This would be a huge, huge occasion for this man's career.
Made a great shot. Ball drifted high, even the 6-pin.
What a valiant effort, though, by Ron Krippelcz out of St. Louis, Missouri. Started bowling at the young age of 10, bowling against a couple of Hall of Famers, and Dave Davis will advance to the championship round. Dave Davis, our winner, with a 197. We'll be back with match number 4 right after this.
Rust-Oleum, the ultimate defense against weather.
In the big city, people spend a lot of money trying to look cool. But in the country, looking good can cost a lot of dough, too. At least no matter where you live, you can get a 20-minute phone call for only 99 cents.
He's right. Just dial 1010-220 and all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, just 7 cents a minute after that. No fees, no signing up. Just dial 1010-220.
Now that's cool.
It didn't have to end like this. Armor All Protectant. Armor All Car Wax. It's not just shine, it's Armor All.
We asked some of the hottest detectives on the street to switch antiperspirant.
Degree Ultra Dry.
Body heat activated.
When your body heat rises, Degree's powerful ultra dry form releases extra protection.
When the pressure is on, the heat is on.
Degree kicks butt.
Degree Ultra Dry.
We're
hitting the road with the Pepsi Challenge to see if people prefer the taste of Pepsi or Coca-Cola.
You like Coke? Yeah. So how many Cokes you drink a day? One at breakfast, one at lunch, and one at dinner. You think we can change your mind? You want to try? Let's take the Pepsi Challenge. Let's do it. I like that one. What about all this about 3 Cokes a day? I guess it's going to be 3 Pepsis a day. Which one are you going to take home with you today? I'll take Pepsi.
In taste tests nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coke. So take the Pepsi Challenge and let your taste decide.
He's been voted the most powerful on-air personality in sports. He's larger than life, smart to He's taking the country by storm. Welcome to the jungle. Jim Rome, The Last Word. Weeknights at 6:30 and 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
You're huge everywhere.
You're a marquee player, but you have never won Jack.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that dislike you.
The Last Word. Weeknights at 6:30 and 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Mommy, what about my birthday party? Don't worry, sweetheart. You're having a birthday bowling party. I am? I've never been bowling. You'll have a great time. It's easy to knock down pins. They have lightweight bowling balls, bumpers, and everything that makes a party fun. Party favors, balloons, food, a birthday cake, even a party coordinator. I can't wait. This is one party we'll both enjoy. And I arranged everything with just one phone call.
Along with Randy Peterson, I'm Ron Pullin. Let's take a look at some of the other finishers at the Brunswick Senior Slam presented by the Orleans. Randy?
There's Steve Neff, another Florida boy from my home state. There's Slippery, Gary Dickinson, Edmond, Oklahoma, great player year after year. Barry Asher from Costa Mesa, California, Hall of Famer. And there's my buddy Gene Stuss, one of the nicest guys on the senior tour. Not to mention the fact he can play it. This guy was a 93 Player of the Year.
Well, Dave Davis is trying to become the first one here in Las Vegas to win 2 matches in a row in the 10th. Looking down at his feet didn't seem to bother him a whole lot because the result was that.
He's in the zone.
Well, he needs it, and it will be Dick Baker against Dave Davis. Dick Baker, the 58-year-old from Henderson, Nevada, 0-4 in TV career appearances, and he's 0-2 in finals. Was one of the finalists last year. Losing, however, to Vince Range by 1 pin.
Wow.
The way to start?
Just nothing but direct. That's the high hard one, straight right at the pocket. Dick Baker, voted by his peers probably the best player to never win on the senior tour. He's got his hands full with Dave Davis, Hall of Famer.
And the little sock there on his right foot.
That's to help him slide. Synthetics tend to get a little tacky.
Dick Baker said 99 losing to Vince Range was a big letdown. Let's look at the slide again.
Take a look at that high backswing. Good follow through, good position. Nice knee bend, important for leverage.
Now, right before this match, they did work on the approach. Because we saw everybody sticking in our last match. You can see his record in match play here, 17-7.
Oh.
Best finish this year for Dick Baker, 12th at the NBS National Senior Doubles Championship, but he does hold 3 senior scoring records, set them all in Boise, Idaho. The Big Four. What do you do, Randy?
Well, you go for either the 4-7 or the 6-10, try to slide one over, or just go for the count. Very tough to make, almost impossible. You know, it's very interesting, too. Dick Baker chooses to finish on that lane. You know, it's his choice, and allows Dave Davis to finish on the right lane where he struck out to win the last match.
You can see Dick in the lower right-hand portion of your screen just staring at the lanes, trying to figure things out.
Oh.
Hall of Famer Dave Davis.
Dave likes to go straight and hard with a lot of speed, and that's just what he's doing now. And you know, I'm thinking that that's probably the best way to attack this lane condition. We saw Johnny Petraglia try to hook it, had problems with carry, and Dave sticks again. No problem making the spare though. I think direct and hard is the way to go.
Just a reminder for all, an update on all the PBA action, both on the senior tour and the regular tour. You can punch it in on your computer at PBA.com. www.pba.com. You can get all the information, everything coming your way.
Mr. Davis, nickname Huey.
And why? Do you know?
I have no idea.
It's a good nickname, though.
But I know that that Petraglia calls him that all the time, and it's just something that stuck with him, I guess, over the years. He has a 14-pin lead, working on a spare.
Well, he won titles in the 60s, 70s, 90s, no title in the 80s. Dick Baker didn't join the PBA Tour, waited till he was 50. He's got one of the great cures for bad knees. Takes a daily routine of eating white raisins soaked in gin. That'll work for me.
I don't like raisins. All right, Dick. Nice shot coming back from that split. Now let's see what kind of adjustment he makes on the left lane. And to correct myself, Davis didn't strike out on the right lane the last game, but he did get a strike on his fill shot, which was important because he needed to fill at least 9. So it's just unusual that you pick a lane to finish on, that's got to be your good lane, or you got to pick the lane to finish on to force your opponent to finish on his bad lane.
It seems like Dick Baker floats the ball a little bit through the front. Is that fair?
Well, yeah, it is. You know, his ball speed's slower, so his ball's going to hook more. I mean, if his revolutions and Davis's revolutions are the same, the guy that throws it slower, that's the guy who's going to have the bigger hook. And right now, you can see the problem he's having on the left lane. You know, the first shot on that lane went high for Big 4. This one almost went Brooklyn.
Well, he's told us before that he wanted to stay lower, stay down, not such a high backswing.
And he looked real surprised too by the way that ball reacted that last shot.
Davis with a 14-pin lead, bowling here in the 4th.
Working on a strike. Oh yeah,
good reaction.
All right, you're talking 4 shots dead flush. The only thing he left was a 7-pin. Otherwise, he's got a 4-bagger.
The PBA Hall of Fame, the ABC Hall of Fame. Won the PBA National Championship in '65 and in '67. Won the TSC twice in '68 and '75.
You know, and one of Dave's goals is to win at least one more title before he retires. He's looking towards retirement soon, and he's eyeing this title down.
Oh, also has a senior masters to his credit. You know, amazing talking to Dave before. I said, you know, in your career, which spans 37 years as a professional, what have you changed? He said, the only thing I've honestly changed, 4 steps to 5 steps. He said, I've tried to stay as consistent as I can over my career. That's pretty amazing.
It is. You know, this is a guy who's also coached Parker Bone III, who is our player of the year. Knows a little bit about the game.
And who's in attendance here. Dick Baker, better known as Papa to his grandchildren, want to make sure that they said hi to all of them. His wife Jackie in attendance. His biggest supporter. If you hear a yeah baby, that's from Jackie. With the sock.
2 great hobbies, golf and fishing, my favorite. Right now, he needs to start striking.
Thought he might have a little luck on that, wasn't able to get it. This is a man who bowled a 300 game in the position round to take the lead and become the #1 seed.
Right now, having a little bit of problem with his ball reaction. No problem with the spare, though. I'm thinking he needs to move right.
Just a reminder for the 60 minutes of sports television, tune in to Going Deep with Chris Myers each and every Sunday. Check your local listings. Chris always bringing you the latest and the hot topics in the world of sports. Right now, the hot topic is Dick Baker trailing by 24 to Dave Davis.
There you go.
Now Dick Baker strikes, and that gets him back in it. Still a lot of bowling left in our championship round from Vegas.
The King brothers, separated at birth. George King would wind up living with a family that subscribed to popular fishing magazines. James went to a family that subscribed to the Wall Street Journal. As the years passed and the boys grew, George spent most of his time in front of the television, watching fishing shows, while James read the Journal like a sponge, absorbing ideas, insight, and getting a real sense of the opportunities surrounding him. 28 years later, George lives at home with his parents, while his brother James started a B2B web company, got mezzanine financing, and went public with a record first-day pop. Food for thought, especially since you can get 13 weeks of the Wall Street Journal for just 57 cents a day. That's 25% off the regular subscription. Subscribe now. Call 800-334-4700. That's 800-334-4700. The Wall Street Journal. Adventures in Capitalism.
Between love and hate, it's a thin line.
Merhabalar. Yapılmakta olan ulusal dalgıçlık olimpiyatları için güzel şehrimiz Diyarbakır'a hoş geldiniz. Evet, yarışmacımız Yaşar yürüyor. Yaşar hazırlanıyor. Mükemmel bir atlayış. Atladı. Çok güzel bir atlayış. Herkes şaşkın. Atlayıştı. Evet, omuz ve baş sallama. Evet, ve Yaşar görünüyor.
Test your Sports IQ nightly. Sports Geniuses, weeknights at 6 and 11 on Fox Sports Net.
Welcome back. Along with Randy Peterson, I'm Ron Thulen. We are in the 8th frame for Dave Davis and the 9th for Baker. And right now, Davis with a 3-pin lead after the strike in the 7th. Baker, 3 in a row. 6th, 7th, and 8th. And this is Davis.
Oh!
And the door is open now for Dick Baker to pick up his first television victory.
That was a vicious ring in 7. Dave got up, made the shot he needed to make. Only one problem. He got robbed. 2 7-pins, 2 6-pins. This game, the rest are strikes.
And he's stuck again on the approach. You can see him look down, and he's becoming more and more concerned with it.
Take a look at this here. Let's see what happens right. Oh, it just looks like his foot is just kind of slipping out and going sideways on him. See his weight falling to the side.
And that's the right knee that's been scoped a couple times and now has a little bit of titanium in it. Still up by 3 here in the 9th.
That's a good shot. Wow.
Called it, pro.
We talked about it before, the foundation frame, the 9th frame. You got to set up the 10th frame, and the way to do that is by striking in the 9th.
Dick Baker only trailing by 3 pins. Looking for the 4th strike in a row. Oh, my.
Well,
and his wife, Jackie, can't do a whole lot.
Not the shot he wanted, obviously. Not a real good break either, leaving a big 4. Just go for 2.
Not a time to leave a frame open. Dick Baker was making a charge at Dave Davis. Now he just looks up at the scores. Down by 21 pins.
Well, he strikes out here. He forces Dave to get up and mark in the 10th frame. Anything less, it's Dave's title.
Well, Dave has been so consistent, marking probably would not be a problem.
You know, one really bad stick, he could foul. You know, this isn't over.
Mm-hmm. Now, the second time Dick Baker distracted. Happened prior to the 8th frame, too.
There you go.
Well, that'll help.
All right, one more. We add a little heat, maybe a little fuel to the fire, make it a little warmer temperature-wise for Mr. Davis.
Dave Davis has been there before. Dick Baker is trying to get there, looking for his first senior PBA tour win. He needs to strike out in order to have Davis mark to win. Another disappointing day in Vegas. for Dick Baker.
Well, you know, he bowled fantastic all week, and he's going to have another shot at it.
And Dave Davis on the verge of his 4th PBA senior title. At his first win in 1965 in Salt Lake City, Utah. This will be number 19. Titles in the 60s, the 70s, the 90s, and now in the year 2000 for Dave Davis, the winner of the Brunswick Senior Slam in 2000.
Isn't that a rookie they just sent down?
Yep.
Hope he's up for the School of Hard Knocks.
Boy, bowling centers sure have changed.
Cool arcade games.
Amazing food.
Parties for kids and adults. Looks like they're having a ball.
I think the rookie would rather you didn't use the word ball.
What makes you say that?
He keeps asking to be spared.
Looks like he got his wish.
Bowling. For rookies and everyone else. It's a whole new game.
Check out the hottest thing going this summer. Buy a zone, get a target zone free. Limited time only at participating pro shops from Brunswick.
It didn't have to end like this. Armor All Protectant. Armor All Car Wax. It's not just shine, it's Armor All.
Rust-Oleum, the ultimate defense against weather.
This Fox Sports Net exclusive is being brought to you by Brunswick. Buy a specified zone ball and get a target zone free. Get to your pro shop and get in the zone. And the final score, Dave Davis in with a 215. And Dick Baker finishes with a 187. And Dave Davis, the 2000 champion of the Brunswick Senior Slam. With us now is Robert Paravia, the Director of Bowling Operations for Coast Resorts, and J.T. McDonald of Brunswick with the check. J.T., why don't you go first?
Dave, on behalf of Brunswick, congratulations. You bowled great. It's always a pleasure to watch you because you have so much fun out there. $18,000, great win.
Thank you, J.T.
And a little bit of hardware for you, too.
Dave, on behalf of the Orleans, we'd like to congratulate you with the inaugural Orleans Casino Senior Open. Congratulations.
Great job, Dave. I have a couple of questions to ask you. First of all, you know, the lane conditions look pretty tough. The score started out low at first, then they seemed to get a little bit better, and then it seemed to go back the other way. What were your thoughts going in?
Well, what we bowled on today, you know, is always a little bit different than what the tournament condition is, because the television lights change, Randy, as you know, you've experienced that. Changes them dramatically. And it's just, for example, the last game, the only thing I could think to do to try and keep the ball in the pocket was throw it with one finger. So I threw it with my middle finger in the ball and my ring finger just kind of laying on the hole, hoping it would go straight enough.
Wow, that's fantastic. You're a great champion. One more question. How's your knee doing?
My knee's doing great. It's the inside half, as you know, is artificial, and to win after all that, whew,
well,
I'm lucky.
Congratulations, Dave. You're a great champion.
Oh, Randy, the knee may be artificial, but this victory was real. $18,000 on the first check to Dave Davis, the 2000 champion of the Brunswick Senior Slam right here at the Orleans in Las Vegas. Just a reminder, the PBA Tour continues your way on Fox Sports Net. Next week, we head to Wichita, Kansas for the Wichita Open. We hope you'll be part of that. And, of course, we'll continue for the next couple of weeks right here on Fox Sports Net. Tonight, tune in to Fox Sports Net for the National Sports Report, the most complete wrap-up of sports at 10 p.m. and midnight. For Randy Peterson, I'm Ron Thulin. Thanks for watching the Pro Bowlers Tour on Fox Sports Net.
The Revolution are on a roll and blasting their way to the top. Wilde Harris and Ted Chronopoulos continue to scorch the nets as the Revs try to stay on top in the East. The New England Revolution, all season long on Fox Sports Net.
From the world-renowned Desert Inn Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, 24-Hour Fitness proudly presents Miss Fitness USA 2000. Your host tonight is Jake of Body by Jake, America's leading fitness motivator.